Hey y'all, it's Krista here from Saving Grace Homestead, and we are typically talking all things homesteading or health on this channel. Both topics I love and am super invested in, and today is no different, but I wanted to talk about a conversation that I had recently. So last week was Halloween, right? And our kids went out and got all the candy and did all the fun things and dressed up and whatnot. And if you don't participate, that's totally fine. That's not what this is about. And that's, a whole other conversation, but not what this topic is about. However, I wanted to challenge our collective thinking because there's some things that just don't make sense to me. And so I want to talk about it, and maybe you can offer me a different perspective or a different angle that I haven't thought about or considered in the comments. And I'm open to reading them. I want to hear what you have to say. And maybe you haven't thought about this in the way that I'm going to talk about it. And so maybe it will challenge your thinking a little bit. And either way, I would love to know what you think and what perspective you're coming at it from. And if you used to have a different perspective and maybe you changed now. So let's get into it and let me tell you about this conversation that I had. Okay, so for several years now, we have let the kids dress up and they go out and they have fun because kids love to play dress up, right? And it's the one day a year that they get to, pardon the cat, this is why I have a wet spot. My cat has issues and needs to, if I hold still, then he's right here to suck on my clothing. Anyway, I digress, but that's what that's about. You might see him pop up. So we let them dress up. It's the one day a year when kids can play dress up out in public and it be accepted and normal, right? And they get to see people and they get to see other people who are dressed up, and they get treats in their bags and all that kind of stuff. And it's just fun. We've never let our kids do anything scary or gory or anything like that. They've never had a desire to do that. That's just, we just don't do any of that stuff, not decoration wise or anything. That's for us in our home. So anyway, my kids did all that. They had a blast. We have just made a tradition of beforehand, weeks beforehand, we start talking about what candy they want us to purchase, because we don't really live in a neighborhood. We're not passing out candy. So, there's not really anybody to pass out candy to. And so we go ahead and we will buy candy for our kids that have real food ingredients in them, right? Things that we can pronounce and recognize. And we will purchase for them, organic candy that has real food in it and not questionable food dyes and who knows what else that the FDA says is fine. We have higher standards than the FDA at my house, and we don't give our kids that stuff. It's not beneficial to them. It's actively harmful for them. And why would I give that to them in the name of fun, right? Because who in their right mind is health issues are fun? Nobody says that, right? But that's how we eat, right? And so the point is, stay with me, because my point is not to shame anybody for their candy choices or their food choices or anything else. My point is not to shame anybody. Stick with me. So we take it upon ourselves to purchase replacement candy, and we have it sitting aside in a cabinet on a shelf somewhere, and they know it's there. They look forward to it. And so they go out, they do the fun thing, and they come home, and we ditch the harmful stuff. Okay, guys, some of these ingredients are actively harmful. They're causing kids problems. Again, I'm not shaming you if you're buying that candy. I'm not. It might sound like it, but I'm really not. Okay, I appreciate everybody who takes the time to participate in a fun evening for our kids and gives our kids a fun evening. That's the point, right? So which candy you purchase does not matter. So we let our kids have the fun. They come home and we switch it out. Now, they might come home with a bag full of candy, and they're not going to get a whole bag full of candy back from us. And some of you might be like, well, they're getting gypped, right? They don't feel that way, because we're not going to let them just sit and eat it supervised anyway, because that would make them sick. And so we kind of try to frame things like that with our kids. It's not that you can't have this. It's not this restriction mindset. It's how is that going to make you feel? How is that going to impact your behavior? Is it going to be harder for you to behave? Is it going to be harder for you to think, to focus, to learn, to make good choices? Like, if those things are going to make you feel bad and they're going to make life harder on you, then is it even enjoyable for you? No, it's really not, is it? So why do we want to do that to ourselves? Why do we say that that's fun, right? It's really not. And so my kids are learning to have a different relationship with the things that they put in their body. It's not this, I can have, I can't have, I should, I shouldn't. It's like, what is it doing to me? And do I want that? Then, and then I'm going to make my choices based on that. So anywho, somebody got really offended when I said we just switch out our kids' candy. And like, some people got really offended. And that might be you. And so I want to have a chat, right? I want to have a chat if you are the person who's really offended, because I want to extend this grace to you, right? I understand where you're coming from. I can understand, because this is the norm and this is what you've done. And you're like, I've spent my money on this and you're throwing it away. That's so disrespectful. That's inconsiderate. That's wasteful, yada, 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 right? I've gone through all of that in my mind and I understand your perspective on that. I want to give you an opportunity to just kind of flip the script on that for a moment and to think, because oftentimes we feel a certain way, because it's how it's always been done. And when somebody challenges something that is a norm, it can feel frustrating. It can feel upsetting. And so it's really important, I think, to shine a light on things and challenge them logically. Because sometimes when we, don't pull on my necklace. Sometimes when we challenge things, challenge ourselves even to say, okay, well, let's think through this logically. Then oftentimes our feelings don't quite hold up to the logic and we have to go, okay, well, it is kind of silly for me to feel that way. And you might feel differently. You might be like, it's not silly for me to feel that way. But again, I want to talk through it. And then feel free to share your thoughts. What is the purpose when you go out and you purchase candy to give out to kids on Halloween or any other time for that matter? What is the purpose in your purchasing that candy? I would hope, right, that for most, if not all of us, the purpose is to give them a fun time, right? It's fun. Okay, so if you purchase candy that I know isn't going to make my kids feel good, it's not going to do good things for them, it's going to actively do bad things for them, I don't want you to feel bad, right? Because I'm grateful that you chose to participate in whatever way you have the capacity to participate. I'm super grateful for that because it did give my kids a fun time. So if your goal in purchasing the candy was for kids to have a fun time and the kids came out and they had a fun time, then check, goal accomplished. No waste, right? It was not a waste of money if that was your goal. So what happens when it leaves your door shouldn't matter, right? Because the kids had fun. That's all that matters. That was the point. That was what the money was invested in, right? At the end of the day, wasn't that it? And so it's funny to me because when you think about it, that candy can only go one of two places for any kid on the planet. It can go in the trash, which, let's be honest, even us kids growing up in the 80s whose parents did not care about the ingredients of the candy, right? Some of that candy didn't make it in our mouth because they were like, well, that's the good candy. That's not the good candy, right? So let's be honest. Some of that candy has always made it in the trash. But the candy can only go one of two places. It can go in the trash, or it can go into the sewer system via my child's digestive system. So please tell me what difference it makes for you as the candy buyer if that candy goes in the trash or turns into a turd in the sewer system. Why does that matter to you? Why? How does that have any impact on you personally? The only person that impacts is the person who ingested it. That's it. That's the only person who has any personal consequence in that choice, right? In that scenario, not the candy buyer. So why are people getting offended? Why? You purchased the candy so kids could have fun. Kids had fun. Nothing after that matters. Nothing. So, I don't know. Maybe you haven't stopped to think about that, but let's think about that. Trash can or turd? Does it matter to you? Does it matter? Why? If it does matter to you, why? How does that impact your life in any way whatsoever? It doesn't. It doesn't. So just be like, okay, good. I purchased it so they could have fun, and they had fun. Goal accomplished. I got to see lots of cute kids in their cute little outfits, and they were smiling, and it was great, and it was fun, right? Okay. So second thing that boggles my mind, right? Because I'm somebody who I tries to see things from both sides, and I try to like give grace and not at all have an entitlement attitude. Like, that's not me at all. Somebody did accuse me of being entitled for throwing stuff out and giving my kids better candy. And I was like, I don't think that's what entitlement means. So entitlement is when you expect other people to do something for you. You feel like you're owed something and you demand something of somebody else that they're required to do for you or give to you. Absolutely not. I don't think it's anybody else's responsibility to give my kids a certain type of candy or anything like that. That's my job as the mom, right? That's nobody else's job. I have never once made somebody else feel guilty about their candy choices, about what they purchase. I've never demanded anything from anybody in terms of what they purchase candy-wise. I'm super thankful that y'all chose to give my kids a fun evening. Super thankful. What I do is I take it upon myself to take responsibility for my child's health and well-being. I purchase a replacement with my own money, right? That's called personal responsibility, and that's the opposite of entitlement. So no, us mamas who are out here like going the extra mile on that and taking extra steps to try to take care of our kiddos and do what's best for them, that's not entitlement, honey. That doesn't even make sense. So what's crazy to me is I have not and will not shame somebody else for their choice when they purchase candy. But I have been shamed because I won't have my child have their health and their ability to function compromised for some stranger's sense of validation somewhere out in the world who won't even know if they ate it or not. Like, when did it become okay to shame a mom for protecting her kids and taking care of her kids and putting her kids' health and well-being first over some stranger who's not even at the house when she throws the candy away? Like, I'm supposed to put the stranger's feelings above my kids. And if I don't, I should feel guilty about that on behalf of the stranger who's not even present in my house when I toss the candy. I just need somebody to make it make sense. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. None of you candy buyers should feel guilty at all, because you're out there trying to make kids have fun, and those kids are having fun, and we appreciate you. We appreciate you because you're making our kids have a fun evening. Thank you for that. Y'all should not feel guilty. Don't you buy whatever candy you can buy, whatever candy you want to buy. You do what you want to do. Thank you for giving my kid a fun evening. You should not feel guilty. The FDA should feel guilty, and those manufacturers should feel guilty. Those are the only people who have any guilt upon them. Okay, they're the only ones who have any burden of guilt. They don't feel any, but they're the only ones who should. But this idea that the moms who are choosing better should feel guilty, like, what kind of backwards world are we living in right now? How just make it make sense. That's all I'm saying. Make it make sense. So if you're the person who, if you're a mama who is kind of doing what we're doing, the switch out thing, let me know below. Leave a little something, I don't know. Let me know below. If you are the person who has been offended by learning that people throw away candy, let me know too. And hopefully, at the very least, you're not out here trying to guilt the moms that are making better choices for the kids. Like, and if at the end of the day, you're like, no, the kid's fun is not enough. I need that child to put that candy in their mouth. I need for them to ingest it. I need for them to have all the consequences and to turn it into a turd. That's what I need in order to feel like my money was worth it. Okay. That's a choice you have to make for you, right? If you feel like if the kid's fun is not enough and if the kid does not consume that candy and pay all the consequences for it, that your money is wasted, then please don't waste your money. Don't do it. I don't want you to waste your money. I don't want you to feel like your money was wasted, okay? That's something that you have to kind of wrestle with yourself and get down to the bottom of what is the goal of buying this candy? And that's something you have to decide on your own, right? Nobody's making you buy candy. Nobody should be guilting you into buying candy, or guilting you into buying a certain type of candy. Hopefully you're just doing that for the right reasons. And if you don't feel like it's worth it, don't do it. Nobody should ever want you to waste your money. I don't want you to waste your money. So hopefully you don't feel like it's a waste if kids are having fun and you get to see all the cute little kids come to your door. But yeah, no matter what you choose on your end, the one thing that is absolutely not okay and that we really need to challenge our thinking on collectively, it is not okay to shame a mom for choosing better on her own dime in the privacy of her own home. That's not okay. That's not okay. It's completely illogical. And so can we just collectively agree to stop doing that? Nobody should feel guilty except the FDA and the manufacturers. That's it. The candy buyers shouldn't feel guilty, and the moms who are choosing better should absolutely never be told that they should feel guilty. So let's just collectively agree to stop doing that, because it makes no sense whatsoever. And I have enough, I don't know, my personality, I'm like, you telling me I should feel guilty is not going to make me feel guilty. So I'm not all up in my feelings about it, but the lack of logic is what bothers me. And so I just had to come on. I just wanted to talk about it. I just want to challenge the collective thinking a little bit. And also, some of you have said, well, why don't you donate it? Which sounds great. And that was my initial thought. When we first started switching things out, I was like, well, I don't want to waste it, right? I don't like being wasteful. I don't want to waste it. So let's not just throw it away. Let's see if we can donate it somewhere. Please tell me who and where wants this extra candy. Because can we just be honest? We're after Halloween, everybody is swimming in candy. We have candy coming out of our ears, right? Let's be real. My kids' Sunday school teachers will still be giving them that same candy come Christmas and probably come Valentine's Day. So who is lacking in Halloween candy and needs my donation? Please tell me. I'll give it to you. If you know of some organization for somebody who is lacking in Halloween candy and needs mine, I'll gladly donate it. But you're not going to find it. I don't think you're going to find it. Nobody wants my Halloween candy. So yeah, it goes in the trash. Because we give our kids, and I say we, not we, but like as a society, we give our kids absolute crap from Halloween all the way through Easter, Halloween, Christmas, oftentimes at Thanksgiving, Valentine's Day, Easter. Like we just load them up with crap, and then we call it flu season. And we're baffled by the fact that kids have so many health issues and behavioral issues, and we just can't figure it out. I mean, maybe it's not really that viruses and bacteria and such are like more active this time of year. Maybe it's that we are compromising our body's ability to function. Just something to think about. don't know. Anyway, so no, we don't donate it, not because I'm a wasteful person, but because nobody wants my extra Halloween candy. Nobody. Everybody else has enough of their own. So yes, we toss it. If that offends you, I'm sorry, but I want to challenge you to get to the root of why it is that you feel offended, and if that's really a logical feeling to have. Sometimes we need to challenge our feelings with logic. So this is me challenging you, and I would love to hear your thoughts. Until next time, have a blessed day. Talk to you later.